Hey everyone. So I just took some time out of my day to meditate a little bit. I've been doing a lot of inner journeying, which has been splendid, and I just feel really good right now. And I wanted to share some stuff with you today. So where do I start? Where do I begin? So self-acceptance, self-awareness. It starts with self-awareness, and then we move into self-acceptance. And through self-acceptance, we are allowing ourselves to become lighter. We are shedding light on ourself, on ourselves, on our being, the body, the embodiment of who we are, what we are. And through this self-awareness into self-acceptance, allows our beliefs the beliefs that we were raised with, some of the ones that were perhaps pushed upon us, certain agendas that were pushed upon us, become inverted through this new lens we create through the self-actualization process. And so when we begin to accept ourselves, we're then shifting beliefs. So then we create a sphere of influence through which our love that is within is also shown to us in our sphere of influence, our reality, the fabric that we weave, so to speak. And so therefore it creates a lifestyle that generates and is resonant with ease and grace and light and love and, all of the things that seek to advance us and bring us closer to ourselves, to ourselves. Because when you think sphere of influence, you think a sphere, you think a cell, you think a unit of life that is able to multiply and build and construct realities. It's that fabric. And so when we create things out of anything, when we create things out of a place of misalignment, away from our center, everything else then becomes distorted, because it's almost like you've knocked the duplicator, the replicator, the resource. It becomes jolted, and so there is a strange, jarring shift, something that doesn't quite fit right. Kind of like when you feel like a sharp pain, or there's like a stitch, it's like a stitch in time. I don't know. I digress. But so that's why it is so important to be in proper alignment when we create. That's why ritual is a very important process, because it teaches us how to create in flow. It teaches us how to move and think and be and do and love and, create from a divine centerpiece. It allows us to be intellect and love at the same time, which is, if light is knowledge, then it's love and light. And, and so by us tapping into this heart mind and living through that force, that is when we are truly able to become that spaceship that transcends space-time. That's when we are able to be the beautiful interdimensional traveler, the observer, the creator, the resource, the coming back to, the return, the redemption, the reunion, so to speak, the reunification that, is the essence of life and this journey that we're taking, And so I just pulled a card. It's the Empress. And I think that this is an absolutely beautiful card to pull in talking about this, because it is that beautiful invisible force that unites. It is that heart, mind, and the self and the cell. Those three elements that create and that create harmonious space-time, that where that seed is planted, where that seed can exist, and that seed can grow and generate and become can flourish and multiply. I also pulled the Four of Cups. This card says anger. And so it's like, in being able to understand the feeling states that create the order through which you can flourish, you then have the ability to, restructure your sphere of influence and be able to travel lightly. To travel lightly. And the Three of Wands, compassion. And with this, you're able to fully lean into your being, to lean into who you are, and to lean into that structure of ascension, understanding solely what that is and what that means within a physical and spiritual form. And I think that that's just beautiful, and it's just something that I wanted to share. I don't know. I'm just kind of sitting out here by my tree and seeking to ground some of this knowledge. I was hoping that would help me be a little bit more eloquent, be able to string together these thoughts in a way that doesn't sound like crazed rambling of any kind. But again, going back to your beliefs, creating your lifestyles. And so that's why it's so important to start with that journey and to get to know yourself, to know thyself, to know thyself, in order to then be a proper, harmonious, light-filled building block and instrument that carries life throughout and is allowed to, expand from source, and as well as return back to it simultaneously. So yeah, just remember, you're a resource, and it means more than someone being able to utilize you for their own agendas. So yeah, anyways, bye y'all.